Welcome to Sherpa Dave's Race Recon series. On this channel, I try and make Zwift more fun and more approachable for riders young and old. As you can see, I fall more into the old category myself, but I don't let that stop me. If you like what you see here today, why don't you take a look at some of the other videos that we have on the channel, and if you like those, maybe hit that subscribe button down in the bottom corner. Alright then racers, it is time for the last race of the Classics. It's week 8, which is the London International on the London Classique course. You will do either 6, 5 or 4 laps of this race, plus of course that long lead in. Please be aware, if you are class 5, you've changed from 4 laps to 5 laps over the weekend, so please be attentive to that when you're preparing. There are points, FAL points every time you go through the sprint, FTS points for the sprint overall, and of course last lap finishing. 3 power-ups per lap as usual, 10 seconds of invisibility, or 15 seconds of decreased drag, or 30 seconds of increased draft benefit. Those are the 3 that you will pick up through the race. Bike choice. This is an aero flat course. We'll have the whole set of recommendations a little later on, but ultimately if you're level 27 you should be on that new Cervelo S5 2020, and if you are level 42 you want the DT Swiss Arcs. These are new bikes for me, but I do have them, or new bike I should say, I do have it, and new wheels, and I do have those. Okay, so the London Classique is a lead-in of 5.7 kilometers and then 5.4 kilometer laps as you go round. It's pretty flat, so I didn't even bother putting in the meters climbed. Alright, here we go with the DS notes. I have a section for the lead-in and then a section for the laps. So hopefully that'll be clear for you. I'm really happy with my little profile down at the bottom. Would love to know what you think of that as we go through. That's just a little bit of self-promotion. Let's take a look at the bikes. So the first half of this is the same as it often is for a flattish course. The last 3 though are different. I think at level 27 you definitely want to pick up that Cervelo and run them with the Zip 808s. For level 31 you can switch out the 808s for some Envies, and then of course at 42 you are going to keep the Cervelo, you are going to switch out the Envies and pick up those DT Swiss hoops. Let's jump into the ride itself and take a look as we go. We start in the pens. It's a little flat which turns to a false flat as we come out of the pens and head onto the main road. Alright, we're approaching the start-finish gate, but this is not your start-finish gate. This is just the other one. But I am pretty sure that you will pick up a power-up as you go through here. So this false flat gets up to 3%, but at this point you're just powering through with whatever group you're in. Overall, the lead-in, 5.7 kilometers, it runs alongside the Thames and then turns up Northumberland to Nelson's Column, and then it's flat all the way to the sprint. I'll talk more about Northumberland when we get there. From 1.1 kilometer into the ride to 2.1, for that 1 kilometer you're trending downhill. You'll pick up some speed as you head into the tunnel here, but pretty much you should be just sitting in a group and working with that group. approaching Northumberland Avenue. It's right under this bridge. So it's only 400 meters, it averages 4%. It always splits the pack. You have to work really hard to stay with your group here. It's at 3.6 kilometers, runs up the hill to Trafalgar Square. But here's the tip. What I find in this particular hill is it flattens at the top. Everybody's worked hard to get to the top, but the power really comes on and people try to split the group as you go up here. So watch for that. Be ready to accelerate as you crest that little hill and you head down this road that I think is the Strand. At this point, you should just be resting up and sitting in the group because the sprint is coming. Alright, you're approaching the sprint now. You're going to hit it at 5.5 kilometers into the ride. This is just balloons. It means nothing at all. I think it's balloons anyway. But you should be considering where you are in the pack. You know your sprint. You know what you want to do this time around, or this is the first time we hit that sprint. So you should be considering where you are. You're 650 meters to the gate right now. 500 meters as you come under this arch. Here's the 300 meter marker, 200 meter marker. You are at full pelt right now. It's only 180 meters. It is slightly downhill. You're on tarmac. You're going as fast as you possibly can. All right, we're on to the lap. Notice I've switched from first person to whatever person this is, behind me person, camera view. So the first section is 1.1 kilometers. It's flat for a bit, a little bit downhill actually, and then it turns slightly upwards. It averages about 1% for that 1.1 kilometers, and that slight uphill ends at the U-turn that you can see on the mini map now. My legs are going like Billy-O. Alright, we make the turn, the +1 turns to -1, pick up a little speed as we head down this gentle decline. And it's -1% or flat all the way to halfway up Birdcage. Now we're going to turn onto Whitehall, and Whitehall's where there's the only little bump of this lap. Like Birdcage, it's kind of split in half. The first half of it bumps up just a little bit. The second half is a little steeper. But you can count these statues as you go past. Number 1, still flat. Number 2, and you can see the hill coming, little downhill before the hill, and now it kicks in. It's 4% on average for just 200 meters, but make sure you don't get caught in a split right here. Particularly towards the end of the race, people are going to be really kicking it up a notch as you go up here, and you don't want to get caught by surprise. Round Trafalgar Square again. and back onto the strand, and it's flat all the way to the sprint. Make sure you're in a good position in whichever pack you are in. And let's count it down again. You're 650 meters to the gate. Start winding up. .500 meters to the gate. If you're not going at full pelt by now, you're probably getting left behind. Here we go, here's the countdown. 300, 200, into the sprint proper. You are done. All right, I am gonna just leave you with the same sheets. Now remember, you can pick these sheets up, both the ride on a page, the DS notes, and the bike choices. You can pick those up at the coffee shop. And there's a link down below in the description for that. Just remember to put some comments down below and let me know what you think of my little profile view here, whether it helps you out or not, and of course any other comments that you have, positive or negative, ideally positive. Thank you guys. Ride on.